right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to continue on with the shapes, organic, and geometric project that we were doing. We are actually kind of doing a whole restart based on the original project. And what we're going to do now is we're going to do fruit bowls. So what you are going to need to do this project is we are going to actually need this 9x12 piece of construction paper. It will be set in a pile on the side table. So I want it to be brown. You're going to start off with a brown, light tan piece of construction paper. You are going to need a bunch of fruits. Now, you guys do not have to do the exact same fruits that I'm doing. These are my decisions. Now, obviously, I have taken the time to pre-cut all of these so that I have them ready to go. Why? Because this is going to be a fast video and we're just going to do it quick. You are going to need to make the decision, 1, what color your bowl will be. You are allowed to pick a color on it. 2, what shape your bowl will be. 3, you get to decide if your image is going to be vertical, that means tall, or horizontal, wide. Now, obviously, with what I've got, this being wide, I could probably make it work, but I set it up to be horizontal, or to be vertical, because I speak English. Vertical, up and down. This is what I set it up to be. This is what I want it. Now, what you will not see, you do not see any pencil marks on my shapes. Why? Well, because I did use them, but they're on the back. So all of my shapes will be done in such a way that any marks I may have made on them is on the back. I don't want to see them. You are not going to see any Sharpie. I do not want you drawing at all. Everything that you add to this assignment will be shapes you cut out. Okay? Now, I've probably cut out more shapes than I actually need. That's okay. You are allowed to do so. Once you have all the pieces that you need, okay, and understand we are not wasting paper. So if somebody else needs the same color, work with that someone to cut the paper efficiently so that stuff doesn't get wasted, because we don't like waste. Once you have your shapes, once you have your bowl, once you have your background, you're going to start actually laying it out. So think about where things go. Yes, you can have things that go outside of the bowl. That is perfectly okay. All right. You can make arrangements for things to go in the bowl. That's actually preferred. And you want to think about what colors, where you put them, how they end up laying out, how they overlap, and what types of choices you need to make for this to look really visually interesting. Okay, because you are making a bowl of fruit, and it should not be boring. Actually, I think I want this green up here. But you're going to lay it out, you're going to move it around. They can lap and overlap and do all kinds of weird things in order to make that full. And you just want to make it a nice, clean, full image. Now, if you're paying attention, you may see, 1, I've got a lot of extra fruit. That's okay. Y'all can share fruit to an extent. If I find out that one person is cutting all of the fruit and then everyone's using that, well, we have a different problem, because then you're not doing the work. You guys are supposed to be practicing your skizzer skills. That's fun to say. I'm going to say that more often. And you're supposed to be planning your layout. So I've put all this down here. I have not glued anything yet. I've not glued a single piece down. Some of you guys have this really interesting habit where you cut a piece out, you immediately glue it down, and then you just go off of that and hope to goodness it works. You want to do it this way so that if you need to make adjustments, like I didn't really like how this goes right here, I'll probably move this over a little bit, you can tweak it. You want to stay away from the edge. Don't go directly touching the edge on this one, okay? And then you can just make adjustments as you go. For example, I have a leaf. I can add another leaf. I don't know about right there. Maybe not that one. Maybe I'll go with a darker green leaf. See, we have to think about it and where these colors line up, because I want that different overlap. Now, this lighter green, I could probably take and apply up here on this orange. Maybe I'll have 2 of them. Maybe I have a couple leaves coming out of the bottom here. Yoink. But plan it. Think about where things are going, how you want the image to end up looking, and all this fun stuff. You can still adjust. So if at any point in time you want to kind of re-snip some stuff or whatever, you are obviously welcome to do so. But now I have an entire layout. At this point, I start gluing. At this point, I start going, okay, I like how this is looking. Now I need to start putting things together. So you're going to have to think. I know that's a stretch. But you're going to have to think about what pieces you can pull up to make an attachment. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue here, if I can open this up all the way. Open. A little bit of glue. See, that's actually too much. This is too much glue. So I'm going to take my finger. I'm going to go and wipe that off. And then I will attach these two pieces together to create my leafy piece. I'm going to set that aside. Okay? I have this lemon and that orange attached together. So I am just going to put a little bit of glue over here on this lemon on the back of it. I am going to rub that in. You guys know when you put too much glue on something, it starts to buckle up in that one spot, and you're like, why am I getting ridges? Well, it's because you put so much freaking glue that the poor little paper just couldn't handle it anymore. It's too much glue, student. Okay? And I'm putting these units together piece by piece. So I have this, and I know that I wanted this leaf to actually come off like the stem of the orange was down here in the middle. So I'm going to have these, and I'll just go right there. Rub that in. And attach that to my piece. Okay? And we're going to continue that all the way through. You're going to build unit by unit, build up and down depending upon what you need, but pay attention to where your layout is. Don't be afraid to adjust as you need. Okay? You guys have these. They shouldn't be glued yet. You need to make sure that you're adjusting them to make the most visually interesting layout. Okay? To get everything put together in there. Build it up slowly, glue it all together. The final piece, you should be able to get it done in a day, to be honest, but we'll give you a couple of days. But you guys are going to be working on this. Get it turned in. You got work to do. Let's get going.